Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of BuluCast. And today we're just going to take a look at the team up set list, see what we think about it. I haven't looked at it yet, so it's all first opinions. Just before we start, I will be streaming Fortnite tomorrow. Just to say it again, I'll have my link to my Twitch in the description, and it'll be from about 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock GMT. So yeah, drop in for that. It should be good fun. So yeah, let's just jump straight into this set. I mean, first off, this card is my favorite of the tag teams that we've seen so far that have been released previously. Just because I love Venusaur, and Special Conditions are going to be so fun. So fun. I mean, and even like if you pair it with Venusaur, so it's only 2 attachments for the attacks. I mean, that seems even better. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Venusaur. If you're going all in on Special Conditions, Victory Bell, Meganium, yeah, I think it could all come together. But maybe it's got a better pairing later on in the set. Let's take a look. Both these Weedles seem really bad. Don't see why there's 2 really bad Weedles. Kuna, that's its ability. Pretty less damage from attacks. I don't think is really going to make much of a difference at 80 HP. But you never know. I do like the look of that Beedrill with Destiny Barb. I mean, that's if you're using it against GXs, tag teams, like that's a straight 2 or 3 prize cards immediately, only giving up 1. Play it with Rainbow Energy and you get the damage counter on it, or Potown, you get damage counters on it. Potown and Meganium, so that you get the damage counters on it and can attack straight away. Like, just bench Weedle, evolve to Beedrill, it's damage, attach Rainbow Energy attack. Seems like a really cool idea. Moving on, Parasect. Damage counters on your opponent's confused Pokemon between turns. Could work with the Venusaur up here. Probably like really bad idea, but you know. And obviously it's got confusion on a coin flip, which isn't great, to be fair. Execute. 4 coins. Yeah. I mean, do you even put that in Executor? I don't think so. I think you keep the other ones. Again, I'm not 100% what the other ones do, so you know, there's like multiply, and you definitely keep that one in, I think. Answer, can't retreat, and squeeze, and Guillotine Hug. I like the names of its attacks, to be honest. Flip 2 coins if both are heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out. Seems just really bad, but really funny if it works out. And it's like Grass DCE. Yeah, that seems really funny if it works out. I can never see anyone using it though. I might use it. Shaman Prism Star, Flower Storm, 30 damage times number of basic energy attached to your Pokemon in play. Could be good. 2 grass. So you can put it in. It's free retreat as well. Put it in Ray. Seems really good in Ray. Run grass energy. anyway, you're trying to get a ton of stuff on the board. Yeah, I think you put that in Ray. Charmander, another Charmander. I suppose the only difference here is you can tell them for one of them, but not the other. Other than that, they both seem bad, obviously, because, you know, basics. What's the Charizard do? 2 damage counters, search your deck for 2 fire energy and attach them to this Pokemon, shuffle your deck. Then 30 plus, discard all energy and 50 more. Oh, that actually doesn't seem too bad. It seems like relatively decent. Yeah, you never know. Vulpix, Ninetales, Ninetales Invitation. I like that name. Ninetales Invitation. Discard 2 fire energy. Then, okay. That's not a bad ability, to be fair. Rapidash, 20 in burn. Yeah, that doesn't seem great. Moltres, discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. Oh, it's okay. Discard 1 card from the top of your opponent's deck for each card, and each energy you discard. Could be interesting. I don't see how you get a ton of fire energy on it. But I mean, you could go like Charizard and then energy switch. I don't know. I don't know. Torracat. That's for the Incineroar later, isn't it? Doesn't seem great. 60 for 3 colorless seems like quite poor. To water. Squirtle has free retreat with the stadium in play. That's decent. Another Squirtle that is also. I mean, they both have 1 retreat. I don't know why you'd play this second Squirtle over the first Squirtle. Because you can Elm for the first one and not the second one. But yeah, Wartortle. Nothing to shout home about. Blastoise. The top 6 cards of your deck. Use as many water energy as you find there and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like. Actually seems pretty good. Yeah, I like that. 30 damage to itself on the attack. I think it'd be in for its ability more than its attack. That's interesting. The Psyduck is flip a coin. If heads, your opponent can't play any trainers from their hand during their next turn. That could be interesting. If the Golduck is any good, let's have a look. Any damage. Can't use one of your opponent can't use one of the active Pokemon's attacks. Just retreat around it. I mean, it's not great. Swim, 90 damage. Any of your opponent's Pokemon in play have water energy attached to them. You may choose to do this attacks. That seems really like what decks play water energy at the moment. Glaceon? I suppose Quagsire. Anything with Quagsire. But seems very situational. Staryu, Paralysis on a coin flip. Magikarp. Enter the Dragon. I do like the name of the attack. If heads evolve from the discard. That's interesting. Gyarados. 30 plus. Reveal top 7. 30 more damage for each water energy revealed. Oh, shuffle the water energy back and discard the remaining cards. That doesn't seem great. Hyper Beam is 100 damage and discarding energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. That seems better, to be fair. Not a fan of the Gyarados, to be honest. Lapras is pretty poor. Hydro Pump, I suppose, could be interesting. Could be good. I don't think so. I mean, like, you got to have a ton of energy on it to do a ton of damage, and that's not going to happen. Articuno. Okay. As long as this Pokemon is active whenever your opponent plays a supporter, prevent the effects of that card done to your benched water Pokemon. That stops things like Guzmas. Like, is that an effect on the active or the bench or the player? Because the player has to switch. I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. And the attack seems quite poor. 70 damage and move 2 energy to your bench. You could choose Zekrom. I can't remember what this does. Let's read it. 3 lightning, full blitz, 150. 3 lightning energy cards attached into one of your Pokemon. That seems decent. And Tag Bolt GX 200 has at least 3 extra energy. Does 170. One of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, so I mean it works really well with itself. Because you can full blitz and put 3 more energy on it. And then Tag Bolt GX and take 2 prizes, or 4 prizes, possibly. Yeah, I like that. Big fan of Alolan Geodude's Self-Destruct. 60 and do 60 to itself, I like that. I find the art very interesting on this. I haven't looked at the art on like any of them, but I mean, you can't tell me that's not interesting. I never realised Alolan Geodude had some spikes on his head. Yeah, that's new information for me. This one, 50 damage, flip a coin. If tails, this attack fails. I love those. I mean, like, why? Why would you bother? Alolan Graveler and Alolan Golem. Any number of lightning energy from your bench Pokemon to this Pokemon. 20 damage for each card moved. That actually seems interesting. Like, that could be interesting. And then Super Zap Cannon for 190. Discard 2 energy. But so much though. Like, you have to have lightning and 4 colorless. And I suppose if you're moving a ton for the first attack and then it survives a hit and then you can use the second attack. But even then, you know, Voltorb, Electrode. During your turn, when you evolve a Pokemon with this card, you may move any number of lightning energy cards attached to your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. So that would actually go well with the Alolan Golem, because you can, like, say you have a ton of energy on your bench. I also want to take a look at this art actually now that I've just noticed it. Like, he's got a little, I don't know if it's just a shadow, like he's got a little mustache. I'm a big fan of his mustache, to be honest. Yeah, so if you move a ton of energy from your bench to Golem and do a ton of damage, and then you just evolve Electrode and move it all back to your bench, and then do it again. I find that interesting, because then you move it back to your bench, you can max potion the Alolan Golem, then do it all again. Yeah, I like that. Zapdos, Assault Thunder, 10 plus damage. But there's an extra 70 if it came off the bench this turn. Isn't affected by weakness. Max it's doing is 80 damage. Not a fan of that. Mareep, Flaffy, and Ampharos GX. 30 damage, put all electro powers from your discard into your hand. That's really interesting. What's electro power? Is it plus 20? Plus 30? I'm not sure. But like, if you just, I wonder, like, if you were to play 4, can you play 4 of them at once? I think they stack. Yeah, they do. So if you play 4 of them at once and then power recharge, that's what? Let's say it's 20 and be on the safe side. So it's 80 plus 30 is 110. Oh, because then, like, why wouldn't you just impact bolt for 150? Even if it is 30, 4 30s is at 120 and 30 is 150. Yeah. I like the GX though. Search your deck for up to 7 Pokemon, reveal them, and put them in your hand. That's interesting. Yeah, could be interesting. It's just 7 Pokemon. Yeah. I don't know what more to say about it. It seems interesting, but I don't think it's not amazing. Let's move on. Pretty big on the whole Electropower thing. Striker 30 plus 90 if it evolved this turn. Molga. Nuzzly Gathering. I like that one too, that's a good name. Once during your turn, search your deck for Pokemon that has the Nuzzle attack. Reveal it and put it into your hand. I don't know what else has the Nuzzle attack other than Emolga. I'm pretty sure other things too do. But Emolga is the only one I can think of. So we'll take Galvantula. Unnerve all effects done to this Pokemon by item or supporter cards from your opponent's hand. That's interesting. Although the attack is like underwhelming. Search your discard pile for 1 card and put it into your hand. Could be useful, I suppose. It depends what you need to get. I don't think it's going to see much play. What do I know? Heliolisk. Heliolisk? I don't know. Let's just read it anyway. Awesome. Helioptile. Heliolisk? No, that's not right, definitely. Electric Spark. 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Hold switch, 90 damage, and switch this Pokemon. That seems quite poor again. Tapu Koko Prism Star. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may use this ability. Use 2 of your bench Pokemon and attach 1 lightning energy from your discard pile to each of them. And put this Pokemon in the Lost Zone. Interesting. Discard all cards attached to it. I don't know what you use it in. Maybe Ray to get cards back. Maybe. I don't know. It's an interesting idea though. Move on. I mean, Mac Bolt for 120 isn't anything to scoff at either. Let's move on though. Aurora, underwhelming. Gengar Mimikyu GX I also really like. Poltergeist 50 damage. Opponent reveals their hand. 50 damage for each trainer card you find there. Horror House GX. Your opponent can't play any cards from their hand during their next turn. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra psychic energy attached to it, each player draws cards until they have 7 cards in their hand. See, that seems to go really well together. You Horror House GX and then hope they've just got a ton of trainers. Yeah, I really like Gengar Mimikyu GX. The weakness to Dark is a big pain because it gets like 1 hit KO'd by Zork. But if you were to use Marshadow, you're only giving up 2 prizes instead of 3 prizes. We'll see. I'll probably try make a deck for Gengar at some point. I'm a big fan of the card. This and Venusaur Celebi, I think, are the 2 that I really like the look of. But again, maybe we'll see other things. So far, not really. I mean, it all seems like just meh. Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidoqueen. Search your deck for a Pokemon once during your turn, reveal it and put it into your hand. That seems good. Especially when coupled with Power Lariat and plus damage. Like, what about Nidoqueen, Venusaur, Meganium? So put in some Swamperts there because you just need more evolution Pokemon. I think yes, and I might make that at some point. I should really be writing these down, these deck ideas. But I suppose I can always just watch this back and then write it down. Let's see. Let's go on. Nidoran, Nidorino, Nidoking. Which one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active does 50 damage to the new active. King Drums 100 plus. If Nidoqueen is on your bench, does 100 more. So Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Meganium. I cut the Venusaur because this needs a psychic energy. Malamars. Put in Malamars instead. Although, like, space. You know? We'll figure it out. We'll make this a good deck. It kills me. Tentacruel. Poison and Confused. There was the Parasect earlier. There we go. Could possibly go well with that. Tentacruel, Parasect, Seviper. Yeah, I think that's a good one. And Paranormal, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks of Ultra Beasts during your opponent's next turn. That could be good. Swole is still a thing. And it's weak to Psychic. Yeah, I think that could be good, Tentacruel. Huh, maybe I'll put some of it in Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Meganium. I have to come up with a name for that. Meganido. That's a good start, but we'll work on that. Primer. Book. Poison Sacs. Opponent's poison Pokemon remain poisoned even after evolving or devolving. Okay, so Muck, Tentacruel. It's getting too crowded now. Toxic Secretion. 40 damage. Once active Pokemon is now poisoned. 2 damage counters for poison damage between turns instead of 1. So Muck, it's a Viper. Interesting. Alolan Marowak. Limbo. Big fan. 2 basic energies, attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like from your deck. Alola Circle, 20 damage times the number of Pokemon in play with Alolan in its name. Interesting. Starmie's Strange Wave, 40 damage. Search your deck for 3 or Psychic Energy and attach them to one of your bench Pokemon. Interesting. Mr. Mime. Opponent's Pokemon that have any damage counters on them and any cards attached to those Pokemon can't be put into your opponent's hand. I think that's a one-off in a couple of decks because it just stops Acerolas. You know, so anything that's trying to stall out, constantly heal, I think Mr. Mime is a good choice. Like maybe just a one-off to stop that. Mr. Mime GX, Magic Odds. The opposite to the Magic Evens one. That's interesting. For each card in your opponent's hand, put 1 damage counter on their active Pokemon. Okay, so it's literally just the same card, but it's odds instead of evens. That's actually quite interesting. Huh. I like that. Idea. Jinx confuses and damage counters to the number of your opponent's bench Pokemon on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. That's interesting, but I mean it's a max of 5 damage counters. So, yeah. Cosmoguard. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks. Very as well. I like the name Nap for Cosmoem. If when I declared I can also nap. That's the dream. Anki. Primeape. Kick for 30. Wreck for 80. 80 more if there's a stadium. It's got potential. It's still fighting colorless. They're fighting DCE to do possibly 160 if you can get a stadium every turn. Unimpressed. Hitmonlee. This attack can only be used if Hitmonchan used Hit and Away on your previous turn. Does 90 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. I mean, it is a special combo, to be fair. Mega Kick for 90. Yeah, I don't really see... I don't know. Maybe it will work out sometimes. I don't see it happening, though. Omanite, Triple Coin. Pokemon's paralyzed. Star. As long as this Pokemon is in play, if you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent can't play any item cards from his or her hand. What about that with the Gengar? So you do have to make sure that you have like only those two Pokemon in play. Then your opponent's hand just fills up with items and Gengar just keeps doing damage. Because items are trainers. As we all probably know. Pluto. Yeah, fair enough. Like 40 damage and 20 less from attacks next turn. Kabutops. Oh, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any supporter cards from their hand. So what if you go like Kabutops, Omastar, Gengar? Then you just like keep Kabutops in the active, Omastar on the bench, and then once your opponent's hand is massive, you play the Gengar. You can't get two Psychic on it at once without Malamar. It doesn't really work because you need less Pokemon than your opponent. We'll see what happens. I really should be writing all of these down. Larvitar. Yeah. Pupitar. Yeah. No. Pancham. Arm Thrust, 40 damage. Tails is attack tails. If fades, discard one energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. I like that it's different to just it can fail. Like it can do something else as well. I like that idea. But I still don't think it's going to be like used at all. Lycanroc GX. Didn't see a Rockruff, I don't think. Maybe they can be like other things in fighting. So, Twilight Eye. Discard from your hand to evolve Pokemon during your turn. Discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Accelerock 120, Radial Edge GX, 30 times the number of energy cards in your opponent's discard pile. I think the other Lycanroc, Bloodthirsty Eyes, is better. Like, I think maybe you'd put this in as a... No, not even. I think the other Lycanroc is better, to be honest. But that's just me. Alolan Grimer. 20 plus 50 more for each special condition. Like, yeah. So Alolan Grimer, Venusaur Celebi. Or Alolan Muk GX too. Excuse me. Alolan Muk, Starvation Rations. Play this Pokemon to evolve one of your Pokemon. Look at the top cards of your opponent's deck. Discard as many item cards you find there as you like. I like that one. Big fan. Gunk Shot isn't great, to be fair. Low 80 damage, yeah, no, Gunk Shot's not great. But I do like Starvation Rations. Tyranitar, what have you got for us? Spinning Tail, 30 to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah. Right off, 130. If your opponent's Pokemon is a GX or GX, does 100 more damage. Like 230 against GXs and EXs is pretty good. It is dark, triple colorless, but I mean, I think that Tyranitar could be good, to be honest, in non-GX decks, because 230 against GXs is still quite a bit of damage. It knocks out Zork and Lele and Lycanroc and Buzzwole and other things that I can't think of right now. Yeah, I think that could be good. I'd keep an eye on that one. 4 or 3 cost is a pain, but such is life. Luciana, Mychena looks looks bad. Discard a card from your opponent's hand without looking. I still think it's bad, to be honest. Absol, as long as this Pokemon is in play. Okay, so it's Mount Lanakilla, but just for your opponent. And as an ability, obviously, it's not a stadium. Oh, and Shadow Seeker. If your opponent's Pokemon is a basic, obviously its ability adds an extra 30 damage. Is it? Would it? I think it would. I'm going to say it would. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it would. Spiritomb. Oh, interesting. Soul Compressor. Search your deck for up to 4 Pokemon and discard them. That's how you get your Giratinas in the discard. Zorua, Hide in Darkness. Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Dork, Taunt. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. And Night Punish, 20 times damage. 20 damage times the number of Pokemon in your discard pile to a maximum of 10 cards. So the max it can do is 200 for any modifiers. Interesting. Vullaby, Mandibuzz. Discard an item card from your hand. If you do, this attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That could be interesting. Tangoro, Tighten Up. 60 damage and your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand. That could be interesting. And Rampage, this Pokemon is now confused. Like the idea of Tighten Up. Especially if you get your opponent down to a, like if you judge your opponent and then Tighten Up. I think or your opponent just has a low hand size. Yeah, like I think it's got potential. Maybe I'll put it in Tyranitar. Yveltal. Derail. 30 damage. Discard a special energy from your opponent's active. Clutch. 60 damage. Your opponent's active can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. Yeah, fair enough. Not great, but it's all. What's the first one do again? Oh yeah, discard a special energy. Yeah, like it's alright. Free Retreat though is nice. Actually, I just noticed that. Free Retreat is nice. The art is nice too, to be fair. Yeah, let's move along. Hoopa GX. Rogue Ring. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand. And shuffle your deck. Dark Strike. 3 dark. 160 damage. This Pokemon can't use Dark Strike during your next turn. Devil Hand GX. Choose 6 of your opponent's Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX and do 30 damage to each of those Pokemon. Ah, you may choose the same Pokemon more than once. I was very confused there for a moment. Because what if your opponent doesn't have 6 Pokemon GX? I think the fact that you can choose the same Pokemon more than once makes that much better. Even then, like, what's 6 30s? You know, 3 6s, so it's 180. 180 damage. If you choose the same GX Pokemon 6 times. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Incineroar GX. Scar Charge. Once during your turn, you may put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon. You search your deck for up to 3 Dark Energy and attach them to this Pokemon. Shuffle your deck. Crushing Punch for 130. Discard a special energy from your opponent's active. Darkest Tornado GX. 10 plus 50 for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So it's 160 if you use the ability once and then do it straight away. Or possibly more if you don't get knocked out. What's it weak to? Fighting. Skarmory, Palm Strike, 20 plus 70 if your opponent already used a GX attack. And Steel Wing 90 and takes 30 less next turn. Jirachi, can only use it if it's active. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose a trainer you find there, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. This Pokemon is now asleep. Interesting. I don't think it's great though, to be honest. I don't think it's great. Bronzor. Oh. Head Start Evolution is nice. Evolve on the second player's first turn or on the turn you play it. I wish it was like, even if you went first, then the second player's first turn and you go, alright, I'm just going to evolve my Bronzor very quick. I'd like that. That'd be good fun. Bronzong takes no damage from your opponent's fire Pokemon's attacks and is weak to fire. It is fire, isn't it? Or is fire. Yeah. Huh. If you don't shut it off, it doesn't have weakness, which is nice. Although 130 isn't a lot. I don't think. Continuous Roll, big fan. Throw back to Pyukumuku. If only it had the ability. It might be actually good, but otherwise, no. Ferrothorn, guard press 20 and takes 20 less next turn. That's kind of Throw. 80 damage. 20 damage times the number of metal energy attached to this Pokemon to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, up to 5 energy. I mean, so it can do like 80 damage to the active and up to 100 to the bench. It's pretty good. Pawniard. Sharp. 30 plus damage. This Pokemon doesn't have any damage counters on it. 90 more. You can just, like, if it's not knocked out but it's damaged, you can max potion because it's only one attachment. Could be good. Valiant GX. As long as this Pokemon is in play, your Pokemon with metal energy attached can't be affected by special conditions. Remove all special conditions on those Pokemon. Dual Saber, 50 plus if there's a stadium in play, 60 more damage. Iron Law GX. During your opponent's next turn, none of your opponent's Pokemon can attack. Interesting. You've got one GX attack where your opponent can't play any cards, and one where your opponent can play as many cards as he wants, but he can't attack. I like it. Lop Off with Tone Edge, I'm a big fan. Blade, dual drop. 20 damage times the number of duels in play. Aegislash, Royal Guard, takes 40 less from attacks. Shield Bash, 100 damage, isn't affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Yeah. Bring back false swipe. What it was called? Where it just like flip a coin, and if heads, your opponent on, or your opponent has 10 HP left. I really wanted that to work when it was a thing. It didn't. For me, anyway. Klefki, Secret Key. As long as this Pokemon is in play, your metal Pokemon's resistance becomes minus 40. That's interesting. Alolan Ninetales, Luminous Barrier. Okay, so it's just like the water Alolan Ninetales, but fairy. Grant all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's EX and GX. Mimikyu, Pilfer, draw 2 cards. How much does Felch draw? Felch draws 2 cards. Hold on, I have to find my Mimikyu now. It's here beside me somewhere. Filch, draw 2 cards. And Mimic, for fairy colourless. If your opponent used an attack during his or her last turn, excluding GX attacks used. So it's literally just the other Mimikyu, but a fairy instead of a psychic. With different names for the attacks. They just run out of ideas. They went, yeah, that Mimikyu wasn't too bad. Let's just do it again as a different type. I like it. Fan. Latias and Latios GX tag team. Stir Purge. 240. Discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. An Aero Unit GX attach 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. Has at least 1 extra energy attached to it. And all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. Interesting. Alolan Executor. Tropical Shake. Again, this is just the same as the grass one, but a fairy. Or not fairy, it's weak to fairy. Dragon. Oh, that's interesting. So like if it only picks a basic grass to attack as well. So if you're worried about if you're worried about fire types, you just go with Alolan Executor. Dragon one. I like it. Another Alolan Executor. Egg's Paradise Draw. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Before drawing, you may discard any number of cards from your hand. And Egg Drop is discard any number of Execute from your hand. This attack does 60 damage for each card discarded in this way. Interesting. I prefer the Tropical Shake, Alolan Executor. I feel like it's easier to get consistent damage with it. But yeah. Dratini, another Dratini. Prevent effects of attacks. Okay, so it's not damage, just effects of attacks. Dragonair. For each heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. If both are tails, this attack fails. I like that. I like that there's extra stipulations and it's not just flip a coin, if tails, this fails. I'm like, what's the point of that? Looking at you, Pancham from earlier. Dragonite. Fast call. Once during your turn, search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it and put it into your hand. And shuffle your deck. I do like that Dragonite. I don't know what would use it, but I do like it. We'll see if anything uses it. Eevee Snorlax GX tag team. Cheer up. Make me. Attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Okay. Pump Truck Press. 120 plus. If your opponent's active is an evolution, this does another 120. Interesting. So it's just like knocking out evolutions. But it is 4 colourless. So Megaton Friends GX. 210 damage. If this Pokemon has at least one extra energy attached to it, draw cards until you have 10 cards in your hand. That's not too bad. I mean, drawing cards is always good. Pidgey. Another Pidgey. Pidgeotto. During your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one of them and put it in your hand. Put the other card on the bottom of your deck. I like that, to be fair. I just pointed at the screen, but I don't know why. I like that Pidgeotto. You put the other on the bottom, so it's not like you have to discard it. Yeah, I like it. Pidgeot. Whirlwind 60 and your opponent switches. Spin Storm. Your opponent puts their active Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their hand. I probably wouldn't play the Pidgeot. I'd play the Pidgeotto, maybe in something, and just not bother with the Pidgeot. Meowth, Persian, make 'em pay. 20 damage if your opponent has four cards in their hand. They reveal their hand. Discard cards. Oh, I suppose it's 4 or more, I would assume. Discard cards you find there until your opponent has exactly 4 cards in their hand. That could be interesting. Farfetch'd, draw 2 cards. Kangaskhan, search your deck for 2 evolution Pokemon. Reveal them, put them in your hand. Take a punch just as 80. Tauros, 10 plus damage. Does 10 more damage for each damage counter on all of your Tauros, including Tauros GX, in play. That's interesting. That could be really interesting, actually. The Tauros GXs also do damage based on the amount of damage they've already received. Yeah, it could be very interesting. I'd like to see how well they work together. Aerodactyl. My throat is sore now. Supersonic. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Fossil Fang 90 plus. If you have no GX or EX on your bench, 90 more. Lugia. Power Charge, 30 damage. Search your deck for a basic and attach it to this Pokemon. Last Wind 110. Zangoose. Headhunt. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal any number of Pokemon you find there, and put them into your hand. Discard the other cards. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you have to discard it would be a pain, though. Skills Analysis. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal up to 2 trainer cards you find there, put them into your hand, and shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Yeah, it's interesting, but Black Market Prism Star. When a dark Pokemon that has any dark energy attached to it is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, that player takes 1 fewer prize card. That's interesting. I saw this a while ago and I didn't realize it had to have dark energy attached to it as well. So, like, if you put it in Zoroark, you have to start running dark energy. You can't just go DCE, then it gets knocked out. You can still obviously use DCE to attack. If you want to get the use of the Prism Star, you have to attach a dark energy, which, yeah, it's interesting. I like that there's that extra stipulation. Rock's Grit. Shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. Padding. Tool. The Pokemon this card is attached to has a retreat cost of 4 colorless. Its maximum HP is increased by 50. So, like Tyranitar or Snorlax Eevee GX. Interesting. I have to go back and see, like, it actually had a retreat cost of 4. Dana. This card can't be played unless your opponent's active Pokemon is a stage 2. Search your deck for 2 cards and put them into your hand. It seems quite situational. But I suppose like stage 2s are becoming more prevalent. I don't know if that's the right word, but they're seeing more play. Dangerous Drill. You only play this card if you discard a dark Pokemon from your hand. Discard a tool or special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon, or discard any stadium card in play. Electro Charger. Flip 2 coins for each heads, shuffle an Electro Power card from your discard pile into your deck. They're really going big on the whole Electro Power thing. Erica's Hospitality. If you have 6 or more cards in your hand, you can't play this card. Draw a number of cards up to the number of your opponent's Pokemon in play. It's interesting. Evelyn. You can play this card only if your opponent's active Pokemon is a stage 1. Draw 4 cards. Fairy Charm. That's like Ultra Beast, yeah. Maybe it's Ultra Beast. At all damage done to a fairy Pokemon, this card is attached to by attacks from your opponent's Ultra Beast, Pokemon GX, and GX. Huh. Grass Memory. Still Valley this card is attached to is a grass Pokemon. Ingo and Emmet. Who are Ingo and Emmet? I like them. He seems really happy. He seems really sad. Perfect mix. I'm a fan. Look at the top card of your deck and then choose one. Discard your hand and draw 5 cards. Discard your hand and draw 5 cards from the bottom of your deck. All based on that one card. It's interesting. I actually quite like that. Because if you draw 5 cards from the bottom of your deck, you're going to top deck that card anyway, most likely, next turn. Is there yeah, that's interesting, I think. What's the benefit to drawing off the bottom of your deck when the card that you saw on the top stays the same? Let's just think about that. Jasmine. Search your deck for a metal Pokemon, reveal it and put it into your hand. If you go second and it's your first turn, you can search your deck for 5 metal Pokemon instead of 1. Huh. That might be really good in Metagross. You have to go second and have to, have it on your first turn. Judge Whistle. Draw a card or put a judge from your discard pile into your hand. I mean, anything that plays judge might put in like a judge whistle. Judge Whistle. Maybe. Lavender Town. Once during each player's turn, that player may have their opponent reveal their hand. Yeah. I mean, there's risk and reward there, because obviously you get to see your opponent's hand. They can also do the same to you during their turn. You have to wonder, is it worth it? Like, is getting that information worth giving away that information? I don't know. Metal Goggles. Pokemon this card is attached to takes 30 less damage. Your opponent's Pokemon's attacks and abilities can't put damage counters on it. Interesting. I think Metal Frying Pan is better because it removes weakness. Yeah, I think Metal Frying Pan is better than Metal Goggles. Morgan. Can't be played unless you discard Tina, Evelyn and Nita from your hand. Okay. Alright then. Seems like it's a bit awkward. Look at the top 12 cards of your deck. Attach as many energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle. I mean, I like that you can just attach a ton of energy, but having to discard Dana, Evelyn, and Nita from your hand all at once. You have to have those 4 cards in your hand in the first place. those 4 supporters. I think that's probably quite difficult. Because of that, I don't think Morgan will really see any play. Yeah, at all, really. Nanu. Use a basic dark Pokemon in your discard pile. Switch it with one of your Pokemon in play. Any attached cards, damage counters, special conditions, turns in play, and any other effects remain in the new Pokemon. It has to be a basic dark, though. That's interesting. Vita. Play this card only if your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon. Energy from your opponent's active Pokemon on top of their deck. Pokemon Communication. Reveal a Pokemon in your hand and put it on top of your deck. You search for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. I like that card. I like the 2010 format. And there's a couple of things actually in this set, to be fair, that remind me of the 2010 format, which I'm a fan of. Gengar, its ability. This. Pretty sure there was something else that I can't think of right now. And yeah, I've named a couple anyway, because a couple is 2. So yeah, like that. Let's continue. Return label. Put a card from your opponent's discard pile on the bottom of their deck. It's interesting because it stops your opponent getting something from their discard pile. It puts it back into their deck and just gives them a chance to draw into it or search for it in their deck instead. I don't know what the point is. Sabrina's Suggestion. Your opponent reveals their hand, use a supporter card you find there, and use the effect of that card as the effect of this card. I mean, that would go really well with Lavender Town. Lavender Town, because you could check your opponent's hand and make sure that there was a supporter card there firstly, and then one that's actually useful. You're not wasting a supporter for a turn. Yeah, I think that pairs really well together. Unidentified Fossil. Can't retreat. Interesting. Put it on the bench, so. Yeah, because it's an item, so I assume like you can't start with it. Viridian Forest. During each player's turn, the player may discard an energy from their hand. If they do, search the deck for basic energy, reveal it, and put it in their hand. Yeah, that doesn't seem great. Water Memory. Steel Valley. Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star. Attacks of non-fairy Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, cost a colorless more. That's interesting. Because that can go. Obviously, it goes really well in fairy decks, obviously. But you could also put it in like stall decks. Yeah, I think that's quite an interesting card. I do like the art on it as well, actually. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I like it. I like that. I like that stadium. I like it a lot. Big fan. Now we're down to the new art, different arts for the tag team GXs. I think I prefer the normal art to this one. Yeah, I think I do prefer the other one, like one right up at the top, all the way up. This one, I prefer this one, the full art. I don't know why. Let's scroll all the way back and see what else we've got. So, like that's alright. It's not too bad. Magikarp and Wailord GX. Did we see that already? I don't think we did. Super Splash for 5 water energy, 180 damage. Like it's a lot of energy, but it's a decent amount of damage. It's not actually all that much when you think about like what it doesn't hit. But yeah, Towering Splash looks interesting. 10 damage, Has at least 7 extra water energy attached. Does 100 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. That seems like a really cool idea. I do prefer this art over the full art, I think. I like that this Magikarp is stuck in the... Yeah, I think I like this art. I mean, this one's alright, to be fair. But I'm just... Yeah, no, I think I like the other one. Let's see. Full art for Zekrom and Pikachu. Can't remember the other one, but I like this one. Pikachu looks pretty cool. Just chilling there on his arm. Yeah, I like that one, that art. I like this art. Ampharos is just really smiley and wavy, and I'm like... He reminds me of the... what do you call it? What is it? The penguins from Madagascar. Just smile and wave. The classic. Yeah, I like this art. It's not great. I prefer the first one. Also, actually, this I like this one as well. This is the first time seeing it. I think yeah, I'd probably put this one second, that third, and the other one first. That comes up very small, but anyway. I like this one. Yeah, it's fine. Nothing great. I'm not a fan of this one. Don't know what it is. Just not a fan. I mean, I like the card. I think it's really interesting. Don't like that art. That's alright. It's nothing special, let's be honest. That's same here. This one is interesting. Oh, it makes a heart. That's really cute. Aww. Oh, I prefer this art, I think. He's like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, really cool. I like that one. That was what have we got here? It's alright. Can't remember what the normal one looks like, but it's fine. It's nothing special. That's grand. Brock is really angry, probably because something blew up behind him. I'd be angry too. Is this one Dana? Yeah. This one is Erica's hospitality. Yeah. I mean, full arts for supporters, I don't really, never really, really gotten it. He still looks really sad, so I like this one. He looks really happy. They're just doing more pointing as well. Just pointing all of them. She looks really annoyed. It's like he just insulted her and she's like, what, me? Yeah. He looks a bit shady, doesn't he, actually? What's his name again? Nanu. He's a shady one. Oh yeah, I've completely forgot who Sabrina was, and now I've just remembered because I saw that she was making balls float. Then you've got the secret rares. They're just the same as the full arts, but secret rare. Still a big fan of Ampharos. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Yeah, I mean, other than that, like, hey, what's this? Secret rare Brooklet Hill. Really? Huh. That came out. Ooh. Yeah, is he in the normal one? Magikarp right there. Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up now as soon as this finishes. Is there always a? I don't think so. I don't think there is, and I like that inclusion. Other than that, I mean, it's all secret rare. Yeah, yeah. I still think my top 3 cards in this list are 100% Venusaur, Celebi. Oh, over there. Venusaur, Celebi. I was hoping that would come down the page with me, to be honest. It didn't. Where is it? There it is. Gengar, Mimikyu, and I actually don't have a third. No, I said top 3, but I don't have a third one, so I'm not even going to pick a third because I don't have one. So yeah, still think this is the best card in the set, and I will 100% be making a video on a deck on this card as soon as I can. I mean, I'm going to sit down and start thinking about what actually goes with it and just try and pair everything with it, and that's the only way to do it, I feel. Yeah, that's the whole set. I'm going to end it there. My throat is sore and it's just over an hour long. Fair play if you stuck through till the end, because I don't know if there was really anything useful in that set review at all. I myself probably would have turned it off long ago. So yeah, fair play if you stuck through, and thanks for sticking around. And yeah, again, I'll be back on Sunday, Monday, probably Monday to be honest. I'm just going to change it. Yeah, I'll be back on Monday. And I'll be streaming tomorrow for about 2 hours, a fortnight. Again, I'll link my Twitch in the description below. So yeah, sure to drop by and I'll see you then.